Hello and welcome to Somewhere Below Nirvana. Today I would like to give commentary on the video from Mrs. West called 13 Ways I Live Counterculturally, Lifestyle, Career, Religion, and more. Let's get into it.
It's unfortunate because I feel like there is a lot of misunderstanding and judgment aimed at people who live traditionally, a lot of assumptions.
Okay, that might be true and I agree. However, there is a lot of judgment against people who do not live quote unquote traditionally, especially from Classically Abbey. That's my opinion. However you choose to live, that's fine.
Made, and it's not fair. Again, if we want true diversity in our world, that includes diversity of lifestyles, diversity of religion, diversity of beliefs and worldview. All right, beautiful people. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin, and I run the blog called Mrs. Midwest. Today, we are going to be unlocking the 13 ways that I live opposite to the culture. Now, I don't believe that there's just...
Okay, there are ways that I also live opposite of the culture. The culture where I live in Texas, is very conservative, Republican, MAGA. And I, as a liberal Democrat who also, is a Christian and believes in God, it's kind of, I don't know, I guess you'd say a paradox. I don't know. Let's keep going.
One homogenized culture out there that all young women are funneled into, but I do think that there are some overarching themes, even when you look on YouTube, in regards to the lifestyles that a lot of young women live these days. And the reason I wanted to make this video was to kind of present an alternative lifestyle, maybe one that not a lot of you are familiar with. Since I've began my channel, it's very clear to me that there are still many people, women especially, that live traditionally like I do. And it's my goal to kind of create a voice for people like...
Living traditionally. Okay, I don't live traditionally like Caitlin or Mrs. Midwest. I am not a housewife. I do not have a husband. Most likely, I don't want one. However, I do hold to beliefs that are from Christianity. I do not have sex with people that I am not married to. I dress modestly. However, I am very liberal. I vote Democrat. I'm very feminist. And I do not dress, I guess what people would call pretty or feminine.
Here on YouTube. But I do want to say to anyone in the audience who is nothing like me, maybe we have nothing in common, but you still come back to my videos, thank you. You know, we often talk about diversity in our modern world, but we rarely discuss the topic of diversity of beliefs, diversity of worldviews. So with all of that being said, thank you, and let's dive into the first area, which is not going to surprise any of you, and that is by dressing femininely, but specifically in the ways of trying to avoid androgynous clothing, super casual clothing, and trying to avoid daily athleisure. I do not wear leggings on the day.
Okay, this I disagree with. Casual clothing, I wear casual clothing. When I live in Texas, it's very, very hot. I am not going to wear something that is going to make me overheat and bake like a piece of bacon. I wear rock and roll t-shirts. Jeans. I don't look like the traditional feminine woman, but my inner beliefs are very, very much Christian, traditional, but I'm a Democrat. I'm a walking contradiction, I think. That's kind of funny, but it's kind of not.
Daily, I do not wear yoga pants on the daily. And, that's not common. And again, I don't think it's a moral thing. It's just a way that I live differently. I prefer to present very femininely. And no, it is not normal in our culture. Even a lot of Instagram fashion bloggers tend to wear a lot of leggings, a lot of very.
The way I present myself, it depends on the situation. Now, I am going into the medical field. Now, when I go into that field, when I go into school, I wear scrubs and I am very professional, and that is my role. Now, when I'm home, I'm wearing Nirvana t shirts, I'm wearing shorts, but that doesn't mean that I am, I don't know. And I'm also very liberal. I vote Democrat. However, I'm a Christian. I, hold to traditional beliefs. I'm not normal by any means. I am a freaking weirdo.
Loose kind of casual wear, athleisure, etc. It is the modern woman's uniform. We have left the day dress in the past. We are fully into legging season, but I definitely prefer to dress femininely. It just makes me so much happier. The second area, kind of redundant, but I embrace the homemaking life. I am not on this career-oriented path. Now, many have asked me if I still could.
Okay, I would love to embrace the homemaking life. However, experience from my life and I'm going to give you a trigger warning. Sensitive topics will be talked about. And me experiencing domestic ABUSE has shaped the way I view marriage and other things. I believe women should have careers. I believe they should be educated. I believe they should work. The reason is because if things get ugly, you need to make sure that you and your kids can survive. I have seen the ugliest of the ugly, and I do not want any woman to suffer the way that I and my mom and my sister did.
Consider myself a homemaker now that I've been on YouTube for over a year. I have my blog. And the answer is yes, I do. First of all, I could never survive off of any of the ad money I get off YouTube, but also it's not my main priority. I regularly turn down sponsorship opportunities, interview opportunities, opportunities for exposure, and all of that for the blog and channel, just because I view this as a passion project. I view it as
I too view this as a passion project. I don't make any money off of YouTube. But I view it as a way to express my ideas and get them out into the world and maybe even influence people, maybe help people, even if it's just one person.
Hobby, and I view it as something where I can connect with all of you one-on-one, share into your life, have you pour into mine, and it's not some sort of business. So I have no issues sharing links. I have no issues, keeping a schedule, doing a sponsorship once in a while, but this is not my main priority in life, my homemaking.
No, YouTube is also not my main priority. My main priority is getting my degree, studying medicine, getting 2 degrees I'm working on, and eventually having a family. Those are my priorities.
Is my homemaking and my husband, my growing family is my priority. And a lot of young women are told that the way to be empowered, the way to feel confident is to pursue a career. And while I do believe
Okay, it's not about feeling confident for me. It is not about feeling worthy. It is about survival and making sure that I have the skills to take care of myself and my family should the need arise. That's what it's about. It's not about achieving or showing my potential, but I do believe in fulfilling your potential. I believe that God gives us certain gifts and that we don't need to waste them. We need to use them. If you're passionate about medicine, do that. We need doctors, we need nurses. My passion is helping people, medicine, helping people live the healthier, better lives.
Believe you can be empowered in a career. I do believe that if that is your calling, it can be a beautiful thing. But I don't believe that we all need to live life as career women. I don't believe that's the only way to be empowered as a woman. And it is a way,
It is not the only way to be empowered as a woman. I agree. I'm sorry. I kind of got off of the video. And let me go back to it. Where were we? I'm sorry, my brain is all over the place. Here we go.
huge way that I live counterculturally. Right? The third way I live counterculturally is by not prioritizing or really obsessing about travel. There's this huge trend that's
Okay, I don't, prioritize or pursue travel. Number one, I don't believe in using that money. I am going to school. I have very little money to spend on travel and all that. That is not important to me at all.
really taken off since photography focused social media. And that is the obsession with escapism and traveling the world. Now, I don't believe it's wrong to gain experiences and to really enjoy other cultures and to make memories. But I do believe that when it edges into this strange kind of idolatry of travel, into this strange, murky area where we can't love life at home because we just want to escape, I feel like that can be a problem. I do feel like our modern culture's obsession and idolization of travel tends to kind of put people.
I don't know if I agree that travel is being idolized, but I agree that that lifestyle of jet setting and just traveling the world is just not the most important thing, at least not to me.
Down who can't afford travel, who maybe can't fit it into their schedules, or people who just aren't interested in it. I think that, we can all grow as people, but you don't necessarily need to fly around the world in order to grow as a person. And I don't view people who have seen the world as somehow inherently spiritually better than those who have not. I really believe that you can grow as a person, you can be a wonderful person, even if you never leave your home province.
I agree with this.
The fourth way I live counterculturally is by avoiding spending a ton of money on products, clothing, doing hauls. There is this massive culture on YouTube and especially Instagram with fashion bloggers where people are just buying items and wearing them once, and they're just constantly buying and buying and buying. And I understand that there's some sort of business there with providing links for people, but I don't think that we need.
I also do not live my life on Instagram. I don't take pictures of myself a lot. I believe that it is very vain to be obsessed with. It's not wrong to take pictures of yourself or be on Instagram or whatever it is, but I do believe that it is vain and very not selfish, but a waste of time and money to spend time glorifying and taking pictures of oneself and trying to, you know, I don't know, what would you call it? Just vanity.
Need all that stuff in order to be happy. I don't believe you even need all those products, all those things in your home in order to be creative or to enjoy style, even. For me personally, it's really important to prioritize stewarding the things I already own and seeing how I can lower my overall consumption as a person. I believe that we should care for our planet, and consumerism is a massive problem, especially when it comes to packaging.
I do believe that, I agree that this is a problem, but I believe that money should be spent where it is needed most. Right now, my income, I'm looking for a job, part-time job, but my priority right now is paying for education and paying for my future, not paying for fun or travel.
And distribution of those items, and I feel like it's good to be mindful of our purchases. And I have struggled in the past with wanting to use shopping as a type of salve to my wounded soul, using it recreationally. Idolizing consumer goods is not only negative for myself, but it's also negative for the world. So yes, I do purchase things. I am a normal person, but I really try to make wise decisions when it comes to what I'm purchasing, to thrift as much as possible, and to, even on my channel and on my blog, not encourage a ton of consumerism, not encouraging fast fashion, not encouraging people to just buy just because I have some links for you guys. All right, the fifth way that I live counterculturally is by not going to trendy restaurants, clubs, concerts, events. That is just not my scene. We have the
I also kind of live counterculturally in this way. I do not go to concerts a lot. Number one, they're very expensive. And number two, my taste in music, I like grunge. I like alternative rock. I like this old stuff from the 90s, the 80s. And so that's what I like. And I don't like the modern. Well, I like modern music, but my taste in music is a little bit, shall we say, eccentric.
huge emphasis on attending events and the exclusivity of it all, and spending a lot of money on food and restaurants, and the restaurant business is just growing. No one cooks at home, and the way I live counterculturally to all of that is by exploring food at home. We really treasure our life at home. We treasure our time outside. We go for a lot of walks. We do a lot of outdoor activities.
I do agree. I agree. My time that I'm not in school, that I'm not, is with the family in the home. I take care of, my disabled mom and my sister who's disabled. Our lives revolve around the home, and that's fine with me.
We really treasure our life at home, but more than that, we treasure the concept of slow living, which is, that anti-consumer kind of lifestyle. It's a slower pace, it's less busy, it's not about status, it's not about the hubbub of life, it's not about what cool restaurant or club were you at on a Friday night, it's about breathing in the slower side of life, based on connection and very.
My priority, I agree with this. My priority is not spending money attending trendy restaurants. My priority is making sure my family has what they need, education, and just making life better at home.
Basic traditional kind of ways to connect with other people, like playing a card game, going on a hike, being outside, playing with your dog. Very, old-fashioned kind of ways to spend that leisure time. All right, the sixth way I live counterculturally. This is very short, but I do not use horoscopes. Many people have asked me.
I also do not use horoscopes. I don't know if that's countercultural, but I also do not use them.
What's your sign? And all of that. And it's just not something, to me personally, that feels like it fits within my religion. I don't feel like there's a place for that in my faith. But I'm also noticing a really huge rise in interest in horoscopes, and it's becoming part of the wider culture, especially for young women. It's just not about it. Right? The eighth way that I live counterculturally is by working out for enjoyment rather than aesthetics. I used to, stand in front of a mirror and be like, okay, how can I tone this area? How can I?
I agree with this. I work out for health. I'm bipolar. I take certain medicines. I have taken certain medicines that make me gain weight, and I want to be healthy. I have people in my family with heart disease, diabetes. I don't want that, and I want to be as healthy as possible. It's not about aesthetics, it's about being as healthy as you can be.
Look this certain way, and I think that brings a lot of people.
Okay, we have an ad.
And I think that brings a lot of people joy. It's kind of their hobby, and it has become part of the wider culture. I've noticed a lot of YouTubers will do a body check-in where they'll be in like a bathing suit or a sports bra, and they'll update their subscribers on their body. But for me, that's a private thing, first of all, but also that's everywhere. So that's another way I live counterculturally. The 10th way that I live counterculturally, and this was actually my first trending video that really took off on YouTube, and it was about how I practice modesty. Now, I practice modesty for...
I also practice modesty. My modesty is, not showing off my body. Even if I was a size 0 and model slim, I believe that, we need to respect our bodies and they are not something to be shown to the world. Sorry. I mean, I don't even walk around my house naked.
Number of reasons, and you can find all of them in that video. The thing I want to emphasize today is that modesty is countercultural in our modern world. There is a huge emphasis on women's empowerment being found in exposing her body. And so you can find more information about that in my modesty video, but that is a way that I live counterculturally. All right, the 11th way is by not engaging with trendy Christian books. Now, this one's more for Christian women because we're the audience. By getting married young. You guys know this, but I got married at 22, a few months after my 22nd birthday. And I want to say that I believe that it's more important to marry the right person than at the right age. So I don't think that you should settle down young just to be able to say you got married young if you were marrying the wrong person or an incompatible person. But I've also noticed our cultural shift towards believing that people are not ready to get married if they're under the age of 25. And the thing is, however, by not getting married before the age of 30, a lot of people aren't really avoiding the things that come along with marriage, such as a sex life, children, pregnancies.
I too have thought about this. However, life circumstances dictated that marriage wasn't my priority. Things happened that I needed to be my priority. If I ever get married, fine. If I don't, fine. I'm 33. I realize I'm no spring chicken, but I am not in a rush to get married. It's just not my priority.
Shared financial responsibilities, what they're actually avoiding is commitment. And the narrative I hear a lot is that...
No, I'm not avoiding commitment. My commitment had to be my family. Things happened. My mom got very, very sick. She needed me. She still needs me. Those are my priorities, not men or getting married or committing to a man.
Young people simply aren't emotionally mature enough. They don't have enough life experience to make that commitment. But I don't believe that's true. I feel like that feeds into this modern belief of extended adolescence, where now people are seen as adolescents until they're 25. And I think that causes a lot of disrespect towards younger people and also low expectations for their maturity. But
I actually had very high expectations. I was expected to go to college, to get a good degree, to take care of, again, disabled mom, disabled sister. I was encouraged to be mature, to make good decisions because I had to.
the reason a lot of people are too young and too immature is because they're not living settled down lifestyles. So I believe that if you live a settled down lifestyle, if you're not living that kind of adolescent lifestyle, if you are making wise choices, if you are setting yourself up well financially, if you are dating wonderful people who share your beliefs and values, who are compatible to you, there's nothing wrong with dating and getting married when you're young. All right, the 13th and final way that I live counterculturally is by being a Christian. We don't live in the 50s. We're closer to 2050 than 1950. Our culture is primarily, agnostic, atheist, or even,
Actually, that is countercultural. I'm sorry. I was raised in an atheist, agnostic family. However, I am a Christian now. I believe Jesus is Lord. That is countercultural. And coming from an atheist, agnostic family, people ask me, how the heck did that happen? You know,
spiritual but not religious, part of a faith but not a religion. And saying you're a Christian, part of a religion, is so traditional and anti-modern that many people get roasted for it, especially on YouTube. And it's honestly disgusting and very invasive and inappropriate. I have so many different religions represented in this beautiful audience, this wonderful feminine family we have here on YouTube. And I don't think it's hard to show respect for other people who have a different us. Again, it's not easy to talk about this stuff. It's not easy to be here saying.
Okay, I'm gonna stop this video, but living counterculturally is not wrong. On this, I agree with Ms. West, but I do not believe femininity means wearing dresses, marrying young, living that lifestyle. Maybe I'm not feminine, but that's okay. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.